Hey everyone, Sean here, the Detroit Diz. Good morning. And today we're going to be getting into some news about travel to Walt Disney World and an important update that's, I'm pretty excited about, and you should be too, because it's completely free. It's going to be covering a ton of people, adding on to a service that already exists, but one that we all love. But before we get going into that, I want to say, hey, thank you to all of our subscribers, each and every single one of you. You guys are what make the channel tick, and we really appreciate all of you and are grateful for all of you. Anyways, and if you have not done so already, you can go ahead and mash the subscribe button, become part of the Detroit Diz family, and you get me and everything else that comes along with this channel completely free and all of its perks. Anyways, so it's a glorious day here in the D, looking like it's pretty cloudy this morning. May rain, may not. It's actually about 20 degrees cooler this morning than it was yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty hot yesterday, and then it rained in the afternoon, and it was still hot in the upper 80s. Spring is heating up. That El Nino is taking effect. At least it feels like that right now. Anyways, so back to the topic at hand that I was bragging so much about, because it's a lot of great big news. So let's kind of go back, because a lot of people don't remember a lot of things, especially if you're new to Walt Disney World. You may not know the history of everything that we're about to get into. So let's dial it back. Woo! So in Disney travel lore, it's been a while. So in Disney travel lore, you may remember that we used to have this thing called the Magical Express. It was a bus. That's right, a bus. And if you already know, you know. But if there was a bus that used to pick us up at the MCO and take us to Walt Disney World for free. It was called the Magical Express going there, and the the Tragical Express, because it was such a tragical thing going back home. I'm so get a hold of yourself, Sean. Okay, anyways, so it was the Magical Express going there, and they would load up your bag and onto you check in your luggage right there in the airport, and they would put it on the bus and then deliver it to your room. Actually, it would show up, they would drop it off, and then the concierge, it's one of those French words. Anyways, they would take your bags and they would take them up to your room when your room was ready to check in, and they would let you know, and you could just go to the parks that day. You use your park ticket and go do whatever you're going to be doing for the day, come back and know that your bag is going to be there. And that was completely that 4-letter word that Disney sometimes doesn't like, called free, or a perk. So yeah, so that was a thing back in the day before the pandemic hit. I remember Kyle Paulo used to work at one point in time. He was like at the concierge desk. He would do the baggage stuff. I think that was where he used to work at one point in time in his short Disney employee career. But yeah, so that was a thing. So they used to pick up your bags for free. It didn't matter what airline you were on. Just as long as you were arriving, and then you went to the special check-in line and you got on the bus, and then they put your bag on there and all that other all that other jazzy stuff. So speeding forward, they took that away from everybody. They kind of downsized that. I don't know. It's believed that it was a cost-saving measure that was, because the contract with MEARS, I think it's MEARS Transportation Company, who provided the buses and that were being contracted by Disney. That contract kind of fell apart, and Disney did not renew it. And they stopped the Magical Express, which also stopped your bags from getting from the airport back to your hotel room. Well, also, Mears started up their own bus service, and then that's what we have right now. You have the Mears bus service that goes to Disney, and then I think they conjoined eventually with another company that provided bus service, and that's what you have right now. And then additionally, you now have, I believe, the mini cars. They call them minivans, but they're really more like a larger. I think some of them are vans actually, but anyways, let me stop ranting here and continue on. But the Magical Express is gone, and I don't know that it's always ever coming back. I mean, there's been talks about it coming back. I don't know. We have a new CEO, Josh D'Amaro. We could definitely see that it could come back in the future, but we just don't know what holds in the future. But what we do know is the huge news. So going forward, recently, a couple years ago, the Disney company said, well, we're going to try this thing where only with Southwest Airlines, out of all the airlines, only Southwest. Look, I fly Delta, and then there's, Spirit Airlines who just kind of went defunct. But there's other people that fly different airlines from Michigan or all over the country and arrive in Orlando Airport, the MCO, right? But only Southwest was singled out as far as getting your bags from the airport for free to your room. And it was a trial basis, and it's been going on for a long time. It's been longer than a trial, let me just tell you that. So that's good for Southwest. And they were only going to certain hotels, those value resorts. I guess if you're staying at the Grand Floridian, I guess your bags aren't delivered. Shucks, right? So, or maybe, I don't think that they are. I could be wrong. Somebody could be correcting me right now. Anyhow, so it's only been Southwest Airlines for a very long time. Well, according to yesterday's news, dun 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 dun, American Airlines, that is, the American Airlines has decided that they too will offer the same service from Southwest. They will get it from American Airlines and deliver your bags. I'm hoping. I'm very optimistic and hoping that other airlines will be added on to this great service of picking up your bags. That would be really, really, really awesome. I think that would be a kind of a cool thing. And so we'll just have to wait it out and see what happens with the baggage stuff. We'll have to see, if indeed that if they expand this to Delta Airlines or Frontier or JetBlue or whoever else. Maybe they'll reestablish the check-in service where you take your bag and then you give it to the magical concierge in the airport. Now, if you did not know, MCO is actually under some type of construction. I think they're expanding the airport. I don't think that Disney is going to have their own little area again. They may not. I don't know what's going to happen. But maybe after the expansion of the Orlando airport and fixing it up and doing some more cool stuff to it, maybe just then might be the correct time to make this a permanent thing for all of the airlines. Just saying. So we'll have to see. And see what happens. I'm waiting with bated breath. Yeah, so that's the news, the big news of the day. I'm pretty excited about that. Also, from watching a couple things last night and reading some more news, just some side things here, extra add-on information, is that pretty soon, I think today is the 20th. So I think today or the next day is when they'll have a lot of people releasing their videos for the rock and roller coaster. I think they said the 20th. If I'm not mistaken, they said the 20th. I don't want to lead you wrong. I could be wrong. I thought it was today. At least that's what I understood from Resort TV 1 on their Tranquil Tuesday video, which I was watching yesterday. So I believe it is. Don't get me wrong, but I believe it is going to be today, the 20th of May. And then this, because I believe it opens up actually for Memorial Day weekend on the 26th. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I love that they've already shown some things like the penguins that are there, and Beaker is there, and all the rest of the Magical Mayhem and Kermit the Frog, and Miss Piggy, all that stuff. Wow, what the heck is all with this? Oh, no. That's right, we don't want to go there. Anyways, all right, so that's it for today. Thanks for following along with us. Remember to hit the subscription bell, and yeah, have a great one. Bye-bye.